So today is Friday. Happy Friday. So I'm glad that you are here. And today we're going to just again continue on with what we talked about yesterday. So if you didn't watch yesterday's video, you might want to go ahead and take some time today to watch that. And then I also want today to focus on your essays because I know a lot of you in office hours yesterday were just asking some questions about that. So I have everything set up for the lesson today so that we can walk through that. First and foremost, I hope that your Friday has started off fantastic. Let's go ahead and look at the website. So when you go to the website today, of course, after you go to your Clever account where you check in with all of your teachers, that's the home base. Then when you start on English, you just go right to my website here and you can see that. It is Friday, so I know some of you are like, is there going to be a first chapter Friday? And there is a first chapter Friday, but I haven't put it up yet because I'm trying to get the video done this morning, the Schoology accounts, the assignment in Schoology, and then I've been grading your assignments from yesterday. So I will get that first chapter Friday up today. But to get to your first chapter Friday, you'll click on this little tab over here that says more. And this blog is where I am going to start my daily writing. So yesterday I hand wrote it in my notebook. Remember I told you could do that too for your daily writing, your quick writes. But I also want to put it out there so you can read it if you want to. Not that you have to, it's not a requirement. But since I'm going to be reading your writing, I thought it only fair that you be reading my writing. So that's what will be here. I'm not sure why it's blue. So the blog will be where I will start posting my journal writing for those daily quick writes. And then this first chapter Friday is where, so if you click on here, like I said, I haven't put anything up there yet, but you can see this is where it will be. The last time I blogged was 3 years ago, so it's been a while, but I will put up my new writing probably this afternoon during my prep. Then if you look up here under more again, there is a tab that says First Chapter Friday, and that's where I'll start putting the links. I'll make a voice thread every Friday and put the First Chapter Friday out here so you can still have a chance to listen to maybe the first chapter of a book you've never heard before, a genre maybe you haven't been introduced before, just like in class. So that's going to be the same. Again, it's not required. It's just there for you if you want it. What I'll be doing next week is I'll be giving you the opportunity to create a voice thread with your first chapter Friday on it of a book that you're really enjoying or that you've read in the past, maybe that you might have around your house that you would like to share for First Chapter Friday. I'll talk about it next week, but you'll send that to me and then I will put those up on the website as well. All right, so that is just a couple of the housekeeping items. And then I also wanted to touch base yesterday. It seemed like the video took a while to upload for some of you. So what I did is I went out to YouTube and I worked through some of the settings. I watched a couple YouTube videos because we all know you can learn anything on YouTube, right? And I learned how to create the video, like the quality of the video is not maybe quite as great, but the length of it can be longer, which makes it easier for people to upload. So I redid that. So I think it's working better on the website. And it does link right to my YouTube channel, so which is just Presh English HHS. But you don't have to go to my YouTube channel. You can just click it here on the website. It'll be, again, once I'm finished making the video today, I'll bop it onto this page, the English 1 page here. And you can see yesterday I put it up here, the YouTube videos here now. So if the other link wasn't working as well, I know a lot of you said it would start and then it would stop, or it would be really slow and spinning. I think this works better now that I navigated that a little bit yesterday. So that's there. Let's go ahead and just make sure that you understand, what it is you're working through. So let's start with that module sheet. And I'm hoping you can see this here. But when you're working through the module, this just tells you, like I said yesterday, you're going to be reading the brief overview of the week, and then these are the objectives that I'm hoping you're going to learn. And then this is sort of the plan. It's not sort of, it is the plan. And you'll just do these things, and you can do them in this order or you don't have to. You can mix it up if you've already started on one of them. But these are your due dates down here. And I tried to make sure it's pretty clear. I highlighted things to coordinate with one another, as you can see, that will make sense for you as you're looking at those due dates. You need to be pretty organized with an online class, and I'm hoping that this will help you. This will sort of be like the board we have in the back of the room on most days. So again, you can upload that, as you know, I think, on the weekly module sheet right here. So if you just click on that, it loads right up. You can print it off. I know a lot of you, when you came into office hours yesterday into the online class, you were able to, show me you had it. We were walking through it and you were checking things off just to make sure you had it. But one of those things is just some of the leftovers that we had from before our break here, or our switch to digital learning. We had our no red ink. Many of you already started, you've already finished, so that's not a problem, but several of you have not yet. So you need to go out to the no red ink account and make sure that you have done the assignment that is called dependent and independent clauses. And it might say that it's late, but don't worry about that. The other thing you need to be doing after you finish that is make sure you have sent me your LitPod role. And that is different for everyone, right? But I put directions on that, on the module sheet here. And again, I talked about it in yesterday's video if you want to go back and watch that. But each of you are different, so you can send that to me in either one of those two platforms there. So go ahead and make sure you're on top of that. And then I'd like you to be working on your Schoology accounts every day, which, as you know, is the go-to every day. That's where you will check in, you'll answer the questions. There might be questions about a specific piece of literature we're working on. It could be a hodgepodge of different questions. So make sure you do that each day, because that's how I'm also taking attendance, remember. Now I want to switch gears a little bit to your Turnitin.com posts. So when you're in Turnitin.com, you have two, let me get there a second. You have, oh, you're not gonna let me get there. There it goes. You have, in the discussion board, you'll click on discussion tab. You'll notice that there are two different questions for you. So I'm just going to pull up 0 period a minute. Okay. And if I click on discussion here, I'm going to view this maybe as a student. You click on discussion. Oh, these are all expired pickles. Okay. Sorry, let me get back here. You will see that, I just want to make sure there's not a lot of names here, but you'll notice that the questions will be posted. So here's question 1 and then question 2. You do need to answer both of them. So make sure that you go out and do that at some point. It'll probably take you about, I would guess, 10 or 15 minutes, just maybe a little bit longer depending on what you have to say, but just like it would in class, as an in-class assignment. That's what you'll be making sure that you do. You'll notice on your module sheet that is not due until Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. So let's go ahead and switch gears now to your writing. And I'm going to go back to the website to make sure that's happening. Let's see, there we go. Okay. And we are going to be on the writing page is where I want you at. When you get to the writing page, you're going to see I've linked the how-to sheet, which you all have. That was given to you in class a while ago. So that's where you took your graphic organizer and you moved it into a rough draft. I also then put basically what I would say in class on paper last night. So if you click on Mrs. P on paper, it is going to load into this sheet here. And it says here that it's your basic literary analysis structure, and you can see that. Again, I would walk through talking about your and, which you all know how to create now, and then your body paragraphs. And you know how to create those. Everything that we do in Helena High is that TEAL model: topic, sentence, evidence, analyze the evidence, then another piece of evidence to support that topic sentence, analyze the importance of that and how it connects and what you're trying to say. And then that link or last sentence is your conclusion and needs to link back to that topic sentence and really the importance of what you're trying to, leave that reader with before you transition to your next idea. When you write a literary analysis, there are two different ways in which you can support your ideas in discussing literature as that evidence piece. So the first option you can do, and you really should do this at least once for each of your ideas, whether it's a 5-paragraph, a 3-paragraph, a 10-page paper, you should always be making sure that when you're working with literature, you're taking quotes, directly out. You're borrowing them from the author. So you are using those to support your idea, whatever you stated in that topic sentence. So the one way to do that, like I said, is with the exact quotes. I did have on the board in class an example of how we did that. We did George Orwell's words, and then we did Old Major. So that's like if you're quoting something that a character said, how you do that, or if you're quoting just what the author, a sentence from the author, how to do that. But in case you didn't write that down in your notes, or you don't have your notebook at home, that's possible. I did create another sheet for you, and it's called MLA Presentation of Quotes. And it's a how-to sheet of just where do I put the quotation marks? Where do I put the parentheses with the page number? And that should help you too. It would just be exactly what I would be teaching you in class if I was writing on the board. So it's there for you. So that's the one way to provide your evidence. Another way to provide your evidence is to just paraphrase what George Orwell is saying, by putting a summary of that scene in your own words, like using the example of when, the windmill was getting attacked, or that's all right to do. That is still evidence, and that is still you using the text to support your ideas. So that is fine. It should be very clear. But whether you use a quote or whether you use the scene summary, both ways you need to make sure that you are analyzing that, right? That's the A piece. So you're putting at least, it just depends on the essay, 2 to 4 sentences that analyze the importance of that quote. So you're not just throwing it in there and driving away. That's drive-by quoting. Like, we don't want that. We want to know why it's there. Why did you pick, out of all the pages in that novel or piece of literature, why did you pick that to support your idea? And you can connect that to, the author's use of characterization or developing, plot development, creating, in this particular case with this novel, maybe how it creates the allegory. What is some symbolism, maybe the theme, but you're always thinking about the literary importance of why you have that there. And then again, that last sentence would be the link. So either way, no matter what you choose, the quote or the scene summary, the paraphrasing, and you need to make sure you're analyzing that. So in every paragraph, you'll see down here, I put in each paragraph, you need 2 pieces of evidence, right? That's your 2 E's of your teal. So you need to make sure that you have, at least one of those needs to be a quote. So every paragraph, you have 3 different character traits you were working on. So that's going to be 3 body paragraphs. And so each of those needs to have support and evidence. And then I just put little pieces to help you think about wrapping it up. But right now, I just want you to know, how to get started. How do I move from my outline or my graphic organizer into that rough draft? And then how do I do it correctly with the citations when I'm using that evidence to support my ideas? How do I make sure that it's correct in the MLA, standard writing? The one thing I do want to also direct your attention to is not using those personal pronouns. So I don't want you using I, me, us, you, we. Those are all our personal pronouns there. Steer away from that. You can refer to the reader or readers or even audience, or just say what you mean. It's clear that Orwell uses the character of whatever Napoleon to represent. So you can just state it. Don't say I think. Don't say you will see. And we've talked about that. Get rid of those personal pronouns as best you can. All right. So that is the essay portion that I wanted to talk about today. And again, after you've done your Schoology and you start maybe working through picking up those loose ends of No Red Ink and your lit pods, and then start on your turnitin.com as you move into next week, and then be thinking about how you're going to be drafting this essay. And the rough draft of your essay, if you look at your module sheet here, is going to be, it's due, if you look down there, it's highlighted in the yellow. It is due on Google Docs, Wednesday the 25th. And we'll talk about that as it gets a little bit closer, how to share that with me. Or some of you have Miss Dolan and she's going to pop in and we'll be sharing those together. So I'll be sharing them with her and we'll be able to look at them together and be grading them together. If you are in honors English, you do not have a character analysis essay because you've already written one. You are working on your fictional short stories. And again, on your module sheets, you'll see that it is your due dates are a little different down there, right? Because you'll have some peer reviews that you have to submit to Turnitin.com. So your first time of turning in that short story draft is going to be Wednesday at 11:59 into Turnitin.com. So hopefully this gives you started on your day. And I'm also hoping that I'll see you today during those office hours. You'll notice up here on the first page that I did put the office hours. I did notice yesterday I am going to shorten those up just a little bit because what was happening was I found out that I was running out of time. So what I was trying to do is walk people, read the letter, go to here, and then I was basically reteaching what was in the video. And I was running out of time before the next class could come in, and they were all sitting in the waiting room and waiting. So I'm going to change these down here just by 10 minutes. So it gives me some wiggle room if people come in a little bit later. I need to answer their questions. So I'm probably going to go like 10 to 10:50, just like in class, right? Our classes are 50 minutes. So I'll do about 5 50-minute classes every day in addition to the video. So that hopefully that will help. And you can bop in, remember, to any of those or all of those because I like to see more than once if I can. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in those Zoom meetings, I hope. Have a great day.